All right, I picked up a digital force gauge. Should go up to 500 newtons, and it is from GOYOJO. GOYOJO, maybe something like that. So manual that I'm definitely going to want to look at. So I teach a high school physics class. Don't eat the silica, and it comes with batteries. And so we use the little spring um, sort of sensors, pull to test forces and things like that. And, they're terrible. They're, not real good. So I am wanting to upgrade the classroom to be able to do this. So I really should look at the, I'm sure that's going to screw on there, and then you can put whatever attachment based on whatever you're trying to measure. So real fine points, hook to pull against, something like that. So right off the bat, this looks really nice. And I think it will be of great benefit to our classroom. Which way did this go? It was the other way. And it's got some weight to it. So that's why I was wondering if the batteries were already in it. It's pretty sturdy here. And I guess these are for most likely mounting it to some other sort of surface, something like that. So there's inspection warranty card here. So I will have to look through all of these to make sure I understand how to use it properly. So that may take a little bit of playing. So let me do that and then give it a little bit of a run through and see what I find. So more to come. All right, so I've been playing with the unit here a little bit. It did come with batteries, and you can use the hardware here to mount it to something if you so need. And has all kinds of different little attachments for whatever you might want to do there. So there's all kinds of settings. You can change the units here from newtons to kilograms to pounds to ounces. Let's go with newtons now. And so measures. So you can tell that I'm pushing and pulling. So it gives you that direction indicator on there. And then you can view, so set it for a peak. So now that I've kind of been pressing that way, it's going to keep reading that until it's harder. And we can clear that. And now start measuring a peak the other direction. I think it has a, yeah, so you can put it in the mode here. So even if I press now harder, it's that first peak that it sees. So if I do that and even continue to pull it even more, it's just going to record that first peak, and then you can go back to constant instantaneous reading. So that may be helpful. For the science classes I'm going to do, we're probably going to want just a constant steady state type reading here. And again, so you can change units. There's all kinds of settings in here to configure which I didn't look at too much. And you can change the backlight, thing like that. So you can control whether it's on at all or not. It has a battery power indicator, so all kinds of controls. That this is all I really need here for what I'm doing for our science classes. So probably overkill, but better than the little spring sort of things. But for real industry application, all kinds of things you can do there. So really, that's only 5 pounds of pressure? Boy, I guess I need to start working out. So again, all kinds of things for measuring which type of force you're talking about. So this is an extension if you need it. So all kinds of stuff. I think this is really great. Going to be helpful for a lot more accuracy and real numbers instead of trying to read a spring little scale for our class. So I love this. Can't really speak to using it much more in industry, but hopefully this will help you out. Have a great day. Take care.
Okay, so I have this digital force gauge here. It's a range of 500 newtons, and here's what you get. You get the gauge itself, and it's a pretty sturdy little unit. You got a certificate of inspection. Okay, it says QC pass on it. I'll take their word on it. Nobody signed it, nobody initialed it, but it's got a range of stuff. Looks like it's good. There's a warranty card. You also get these different connections. On top of the gauge, you can unscrew the port. It looks like a 1/4-20 thread on this thing here. So you got different interfaces. You've got a point. You get the various types of ends. If you want to lock in, here's a wedge. The other one's an inverse wedge. Like a notch on it, so you can lock in or something. Just depends. Seems like they gave you pretty much all the possible options you could want, including a hook. And another extension for that, for all those fittings right there as well. And then here's the other thing I like about this thing is they give you, it looks like grade 8 or grade 10 bolts on this, because you can mount this to something, if you want to lock it in, do regular measurements. And this isn't just a scale, it's really a strain gauge. It's a digital force gauge. So it measures, force in both directions, pushing and pulling. So that's why you'd want to mount it if you had a need for that, to maybe get a center measurement. There's a whole lot of reasons for that. I'm not going to show you how to use this. This is just a review of the product. They do it pretty much in depth themselves of how to set the peaks, how to read the initial peak, the double peaks, or the successive peaks. They're very thorough in their instructions, very clear. I've read through it and I've gone through it and used this thing, and it's pretty simple. It's pretty foolproof. You just power it up. You got 4 scales you can measure on. You got the default is newtons. It'll go up to 500 newtons. You got kilograms, pounds, and then ounces. And then you got a little arrow over here that tells you whether your downward force is applied or if it's an upward. The arrow just changes directions on that. You can hit the peak, and then as you push, it'll set the peak until you exceed it. So it'll lock on the peak. You can zero things out. So it's pretty interesting. Okay, so one of the features you can set on this is like a trip limit or an alarm limit. So you can come in here and you can set this. Right now I'm on the Newton scale. Let's just say I set it for 100 newtons. You can change it to say 10 newtons if you want. If you really want to go through that, cycle it through it. So we'll set it for 10 newtons. And now when I press on it, you'll see it trip off. So that's just one of the features you can do on this thing. Again, this is not a tutorial of how to, just one of the features I like about this strain gauge. And it works in both directions. You know, obviously any setting you put on this works in both directions. So I'm pulling up on it. You can see the arrow, and it trips off again the same. So pretty feature-packed little unit. It's got a lot of memories, and I like the mounting aspect of it as well. They give you the 2 AAA batteries with it, so that's one less thing you got to worry about. And then, of course, this case. You know, it's a pretty sturdy case. You know, it's very hard ABS plastic. It's not some cheap little thing. So, good storage case for it.